Today I went to the car wash to wash my car, and usually what I do is I do a monthly payment plan. They have different monthly payment plans where you have unlimited washes, and you get to pick and choose, just what grade of plan you want. So I got a regular standard plan, and situation is is somewhat of an upscale car wash. I'm not saying that fancy smancy of a car wash, but most of the cars, about 95% of the cars that come through this car wash are upscale cars or fairly new cars. Meanwhile, my car is fairly old. My car is old. It's a decent looking car or truck. It's a truck I drive. And it's a decent looking truck, but it's old. And people notice it when I come through. And when I used to come through there, I used to feel away. My pride would kick in, and I would question myself if I should continue to go to this particular car wash. And perhaps I should finance a new car. I can get that ESV, that fancy big dog ESV caddy truck that I love, in a nice smoke gray, tinted windows, shiny rims, black interior. I'm crazy about black interior, but that nice black interior, sunroof, all these things is going through my head. This is my pride and my vanity kicking in. Some would say, listen, you can have nice things. Nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with having nice things, but when you live beyond your means, then that's an issue. That's an issue when you go beyond your means, and I'm somewhat disciplined that I won't go beyond my needs and for my means. On certain things, and if you want to survive, you got to think along these lines. So I'm thinking about all this stuff every time I go to the car wash. Not as of recent. Now I don't give a F, but as some time ago, about a year ago, I wasn't used to this particular spot, and these things used to go through my mind. I can buy that Chevy Suburban. I love Chevy Suburban. The Chevy Suburban and the Caddy is my two favorite trucks, and the Dodge Charger is my third choice and favorite, just regular vehicle. The Dodge Charger, not the Hellcat wide bodies. Just because I can't afford it. That'd be stupid. That's $100,000. But something in the range of in between 30 and 50 grand or 60 grand. But of course I can't afford those things. I can finance it. But I'd be a slave to the car. I'd be a slave to the monthly payments. I couldn't do the things that I naturally like to do. But you have people of all races, I'm focusing mainly on our race, that they will finance a $50,000, $60,000 car and just drive through the hood. I see it all the time. And they'll go to a particular car wash like I did, but these car washes tend to be in the hood. But these are car washes where a lot of fancy cars go through for the most part. Not like the one I go to. And you'll see a brother or sister come through with these cars, and you can tell if they have the money to really rock the way they rock it. You could tell. I'm not saying that applies to all our people. Some of our people are well off and they can afford a nice, decent car. But you can tell when someone is ninja rich. They have the ninja rich spirit, and this is how they roll. You can tell. And the thing with that, you never get anywhere with that. See, if you're doing that, you might as well drive a hoop dog and buy a house where the value of the house, it goes up. You don't buy a car like an idiot. You buy a house. You buy something in a decent neighborhood where the price, which will drive up the price of the home. You buy something where there's transportation nearby, which will drive up the price of the home. You buy a piece of property where there are schools, there are decent schools, which will drive up the price of the property. You buy within a certain tax bracket where you will benefit in the purchase of a home that you can be in for years and years, where you have enough space for your kids to play in a backyard, where they have an enormous amount of space to be happy. And that's what you want to be. You want to be comfortable and you want to be happy. That's what I believe. Vanity and pride is a hell of a thing. It could make you do things you shouldn't do. It could make you spend money you don't need to spend. Vanity and pride. But, our people, they tend to be ninja rich, if you know what I mean. Look at this. I want to show you something real quick. I was watching Power Book 2 all weekend. I was just binging off of that. And there's a scene where these Italians, they're in the car and they're watching brothers move up and down the block, and they're focusing mainly on these drug dealers that they, I guess you can consider them rivals. And he said, look at them. Calling them every derogatory name he could think of or they would allow on TV. And he mentioned the term ninja rich. And it was true. It was true, man. They got on these big chains. You got to remember, this is based on the 90s, the early 90s, when crack was the thing to sell and to move and to make money off of and to floss and to shine. In other words, you would do all these to achieve that vanity, somewhat like the vanity I was comparing to what was in my spirit, but to make it in those times under the spirit of vanity, you had to do some evil, diabolical things into your own people. You had to do these things to your own people. It says ninja rich, giving the appearance of wealth through purchase, and usually of flashy items such as expensive cars, jewelry, the bling bling. You gotta get your jewels and you get your shine on, clothes that are priced way over the top, clothes and sneakers and shoes where they're probably made in Taiwan or China, probably cost about $10 to make, but you'll pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for those same clothes and shoes and jeans. Ninja rich. Then it says, or other trendy items without having much money. Or other trendy items without having much money. So you're buying and you're shopping beyond your means to have trendy items without having much money. Like a fancy car. Like a fancy car in no property. A fancy car because your credit is so shot, because anybody can get a car today, but because your credit is so shot, you're paying 22% interest, 25% interest. That means 22 cents on every dollar, $22 on every $100. $220 or $200 on every $1,000. They're making money hand over fist because of your vanity. Because of our vanity. Ninja rich. Ninja rich. Years ago, my credit was so shot. This is early 2000. Credit was shot. I had an old car, but I needed another car. So I went to buy this truck. And so-called small hat, you gotta watch what I say. So-called small hat, if you know what I mean. He wanted to charge me 22% interest. And I was like, what? So I said, to hell with him. I started making some phone calls to some lenders. Same thing, some as high as like 28% interest. I think this same dude was charging me like close to 28. I don't know. I think it may have been more than 22%. And I'm like, 20 some odd percent interest? You out of your mind. I hang up, call another person. They run my credit line, or they check my credit. Same thing. So I go back to the so-called small hat, and he tells me, listen, I'm going to break it down for you how it works and what's going on. Your credit is shot, right? I said, yeah, it's really bad. He said, look out there. So I look out, I see people shopping, looking at cars, sitting in cars, inquiring about cars. He said, why do you think they come here and why you're here? He said, why do you think that? He said, because their credit is bad and the big banks won't give them a loan without charging them high credit if they even choose to give them a loan. So they go to the rinky-dink lenders. You know those rinky-dink lenders, names you never heard, like Ball Joint Bank, like Poor Man Bank, Rich Dad, Poor Dad Bank. You know these rinky-dink lenders that you see if you've ever been in this situation. But the thing is, they'll take you on, but they will charge you 22 to 24, 25, 28% interest, probably higher than that. Now imagine if you borrowed $100 from me, but now to pay back that money, you got to give me $100 plus 25 or 28, perhaps even $30 on top of that. That's almost a quarter to a third of what you're giving me back. So now if you're buying a car for thousands of dollars, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And we're not educated on how to work the money. And because we're beaten down so bad, we're taking advantage of so much, we want to be ninja rich. You don't want to be like the guy on the right-hand side. You want to be like the guy on the left-hand side. Even brothers in the faith take on the brother or the dude on the left-hand side of this picture. They take on that mentality. Dude that's in the faith. The wisdom is supposed to wisen you up. Right? That's what I always was taught or knew. Ninja rich. Ninja rich. Look again. Ninja rich. Trendy items without having much money. Every expensive item is finance. Look at that, finance. But at what percent? You know what I didn't know? This is how ninjas think. And I used to be in the mindset of a ninja when it came to finances. You know what I didn't know? If you borrow money, if you finance something, if you pay on the back end of what you finance, you're not charged the interest if you pay on the back end of that. In other words, if your monthly bill or finance charge is $300 every month, and out of that $300, they take out taxes, well, not taxes, they take out their interest, they take out this fee and that fee. After all that is done, out of the $300 you pay, only $100 is going to that note probably. Let's say hypothetically, $100 is going to that note, and the $200 outside of the $3 is going into their pockets. But if you make a second payment and say, I want this to go right to the loan from the back end, that straight $300 is going to the life of the loan. You kill the loan from the back end. That's a direct payment to kill the loan from the back end. I never knew this. I was just giving them the money. Let's say hypothetically the payment was $300, only $100 went to what I owed. The other $200 went in their pockets with BS, this fee, this interest, that interest. It's all a hustle. But they don't tell you this. They don't tell you that you could pay on the back end of the loan, and it kills off the loan a lot faster. because a straight payment is going to that lender. This is on point. Ninja Rich. The items purchased are the real thing, but the individual buying them lacks the sufficient income, net worth, or truly comfortable, afford the items. Sorry. Let me read that again. It says, the real thing, but the individual buying them lacks the sufficient income, net worth, to truly comfortably afford them. So you're buying things you can't afford just to shine, just to look important, just to feel good. Just to look good. You know what else I found out? The majority of school loans are on the heads of women. The biggest consumers mainly are women. They're the biggest suckers in the game. They call it emotional shopping. You feel bad? Buy some shoes. You feel bad? Buy a car. You feel bad? Buy a coat. You feel bad? Buy a chain. You feel bad? Buy some pants or a dress or a skirt. Emotional shoppers. Ninja Rich. It says the individual is usually tapped out financially, but due to the items purchased, appears to the general public to be wealthy. How many people we know that's like that? How many people you know just like that, or perhaps you're like that? Tons of people are like that. Tons of people are fronting like they have money. Tons of people are flossing like they have money. Tons of people are walking this earth. I'm talking about our people now. Are walking this earth like they're financially capable of affording the things they're shining with. Ninja Rich. Ninja Rich. Not going to be long with this. I just was thinking about this. But, but then, is your pride. Pride is a hell of a thing, man. Pride is like that gas you can't smell, but it kills you while you're asleep. Pride is that gas that kills the children in the car because you left them in the car and you left the garage door down. Or you backed up into some smoke, so the exhaust is backing up into the car, so you feel sleepy and tired, and you just think you're sleepy and tired, and you're dead. You're dead within a half an hour. Pride is like that gas that slowly works your spirit. That's what I mean. That's what I see. That's what I see. That's exactly how I see it. Ninja Rich. Ninja Rich, man. It's a habit and a spirit we have to be very careful about, because people will shame you and make you think that you're cheap. People will shame you and make you think that you're a penny pincher, and that's not the case. One day I looked up the definition of frugal and compared it with cheap. And frugal, to be frugal, how you spend your money is completely different than cheap. Cheap is you're just cheap. You buy items, and you buy cheap items that don't last long, or you buy items when you don't that's cheap when you don't have to, and you suffer and you don't enjoy life at all. But to be frugal is to be a wise financial spender. To be frugal is to know how and what to spend your money on. You're educated on how to use your money. And people confuse the two. They confuse the two. These devils are very, very smart. They have strategies on how to get you to shop. They put things by the checkout or the cash register to have you walk there and purchase those same items. Do you know that there's certain items that's on shelves that companies have to pay to have them within eye view? In other words, if you pay good money and you sell, so suppose you were the manufacturer of soups, you can pay to have your soups on the third level or the third shelf that's eye level to catch people's attention. But if you pay a certain amount, then your soup is put on the bottom. I guess maybe this is where they get the term top shelf. If you have a top shelf item that generates and attracts a lot of people to spend money, and you spend money at a particular place of business to promote and sell your items, is put where everybody can see. I didn't know this, but check it out. The Lord said in 1 John 2 verse 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, any man, white man, Chinese, East Indian, black man, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. So the world is evil. The world is not of the love of the Father. The love of this world, the world itself is designed to be of the spirit of Satan and to make you Satan's disciples. And you find that the richest men, the men who have the most money and the best and fanciest cars, they tend to be evil. They tend to lack any connection to spirituality or the Most High. And the bling bling and the fancy cars and the things that are attached to pride and evil and lust of money, you'll find that there's a very strong pull and attraction to them. And a lot of it is to make you feel better, like you're doing better, but you're not. You're not doing better unless you have the love and the spirit of Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ, in your spirit. It's a trick. It's all a trick and a scam, spiritually and physically. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, see that? For all that is in the world, very clear. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, what you see is what you want. What you see goes into your spirit and what you desire. What's not of the Most High, that's what you lust for, meaning the flesh rather than the spirit. And the majority of brothers and sisters, they after the flesh and what their eyes see that is contrary to the Most High. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. And the pride of life is not of the Father, but of this world. See? So I caught myself, looking at these cars and I'm feeling away. And this is a white neighborhood too at that. Not too many brothers go to this particular spot. So you know how that is. But then, then the Most High kicks in and I'm saying, well, all right, let's figure this out. The majority of these people, they're devils anyway. So that's check one. The majority of these people don't care about the Most High. That's check two. And all this is going to be destroyed anyway. That's check three. And what does the scripture say? The Most High says to be content with what you have. That's check four. To be content with what you have. That's a battle in itself. But that's a strong check. That's a strong check. I mean, I can go on and on all day. But the flesh wars against the spirit and the spirit against the flesh at the same time. And that pride is a hell of a thing. So once you get back into gear, you start to see the world from a whole different pair of glasses. And that's how it was. Now I go there. That was a while ago that happened. That was over a year ago. But now when I go there, I went there today. I'm like, I don't care what the hell, or, they think of me, or, I'm a soldier of the Most High. And, perhaps one day I will get that Escalade or that Suburban. That's up to the Most High. But be content with what you have. Because I can get to point A to point B when it's cold outside. I can get to point A to point B when I turn on that AC and I'm driving and listening to my music and just happy that the Most High has chosen me to see this truth. And that's all that matters. The Most High has, blessed me to see this truth. And some brothers and sisters are blessed more than others. But be content with what you have. And it says, and the world passes away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof. So this is all going to be destroyed. That doesn't mean you can't have nice things. I'm not saying in any capacity or way that you can't have nice things. You can have nice things. It's not a sin to have nice things. It's not a sin to live somewhere nice. What the problem is when your thought process is separate or severed or divided away from the Most High, from spirituality, and material things of this world becomes your God. That's where the problem is. And a lot of people are going to show their true characters when the money is gone, the clothes are gone, the cars is gone, or those things are threatened to be taken away. You'd be surprised. You'd be very surprised. But hey, that's me. I'm out.